Hello, it's me again, Shelly. Okay, so forgot my tasty little drink. Yes, a window ledge is awesome to use. Hmm. I think I'm on my third of these Colt 45 blasts. They're tasty, but by the third, you're not getting buzzed. So maybe you might have to drink a whole 6 pack to get the good feel of it. As I previously mentioned in our first blog earlier today. As you notice, I'm using a webcam this time instead of HD camcorder, so quality's not going to be the same, but what can you do? I decided to give my husband a break. So, this time around, guess I was going to continue my conversation about conventions. Now, I've not gone to billions of conventions. I travel, but not a lot for conventions. So, I'll start with a brief history. The first convention I ever went to was a local convention in Tampa, Florida area called Necronomicon. Now, in hindsight, Necro is not that big. It's really small, and it doesn't have a big variety. But when I first went to Necro, I think I was 17. I had a hotel room, and it was at DoubleTree, I think, that year. Maybe it was Radisson. Actually, I think it was Radisson, and then it got bought out. But for the longest time, it was off a Silo Bend, which is, if you live in the Tampa Bay area, is kind of MLK past 56, so almost by Brandon, actually. Now Necronomicon, I believe, is based out of St. Pete after they wore down in Hyatt, downtown Tampa, but they've had some issues with people going a little crazy, and so they've moved it over, and now they're in St. Pete. Back to saying, I was 17 when that was my first convention. I'm really trying to remember how we first stumbled upon this. I was going to Lato High School because I had not gone to school for a year. I was actually, I believe, must have been my sophomore year. Wow, no, that doesn't sound right. Must have been junior year. It was one of those years. Necronomicon, if I can recall right, is an October con. I haven't been to it since for quite some time, so it's hard to remember this. But I did go there. My first year, I stayed at a hotel, and my friend Monique stayed with me. Yes, sir. I'm recording off the webcam. I'm doing my next audio. Did you want to talk to me?
No.
Okay. Well, that was the husband. He's wondering what I'm doing because I didn't bother him again. So, like I was saying, first year I was 17, so I'm 32 now. Sorry. It's harder to add once you've been drinking even these little cheerleader drinks. 17, 79, so it must have been 96 when I first went there. I went with my friend Monique. We stayed. I don't think our friend Marie went at the time. I think she didn't go till the next year. So we stayed in the hotel, and it was a fun experience. I don't remember how we found out about Necro. It could have been when we were in high school. We would go to anime nights that we found out about over at USF. And I think they were held by an anime group called Jurai. And my mind's a little itchy and sorry, that's my cell phone, R2D2. Sketchy, so it's hard to remember what exactly, but we'll go with this. So that was probably how we found out about it. And we would hang out around the college a lot, even though we were in high school at that time. So we went there, and this con actually blew our mind at the time. Trying to stop the part. Obviously, have to think about it. It was a 3-day con, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The main reason we went there was for the anime. So they boasted 2 24-hour anime rooms, a couple movie rooms. I think they technically had panels, but they were never something that jumped out to us. And the celebrities, not that there were many, was nobody we knew about. They had a dealer room, which was one room, so it was pretty decent. It's where we bought a lot of our bootleg anime. So when we were Anime is really big now. You can get it everywhere. When we were younger, however, the anime you could get at legally was all Akira, old Robotech episodes. Yeah, if you got Sailor Moon, which we were really into, it would only be like the first season that was on TV, and it was the Deke version, the edited, cut out all the fun stuff. So our main thing was hunting down stuff. We would go to Orlando because you could buy a lot of the bootleg stuff there, or the little individual stuff in manga, and then the the Vietnamese or the Chinese or Japanese, whatever, the Asian markets, where we would buy actually bootleg tapes with no subtitles, and we would read the description of the episode to kind of get what that was about. So we were pretty hardcore back then. At a con was the closest equivalent we would get for something that was bootleg later episodes with some subtitles. Now looking back, these were really bad quality. They were VHS with squiggly lines. You always had to mess with the tracking. Had subtitles that were I mean, I think they got the point across, but remember, these are fans who did subtitles that, so it's kind of hard to say for sure. So the con we would buy those, it would be like $20 a VHS tape of like 4 or 5 episodes, or buy 2 get one $15. The same deal as you see any place nowadays at cons. Whereas before it was VHS, now it's DVD. Can I just put up straight up? If you don't have to buy bootleg, try not to. Not for any ethical purposes. It has come a long way since it has. I do own some bootleg stuff I bought at cons now. Mostly Doctor Who and Torchwood. Now, Torchwood, I regret doing that because the legitimate copy, there is something missing from, yes, they were cheaper, but they were really bad quality. Now, the Doctor Who ones, most of them were the old TV episodes, not the newer seasons. I think I bought one newer season, but the older season. So I don't mind so much because the quality's really not changing that much. It's not the greatest to begin with, and it's cheaper that way. But if there's a choice, like for newer things that are on legitimate DVDs or Blu-rays versus the bootleg, don't even bother. My husband and I have bought horror movies, underground things we've never even heard of, and you can really tell the difference. So the rule of thumb for me is, unless there's something I desperately want and it's not on DVD at all, I'm not going to buy it. There's no point. It's just going to be crap quality. Even the ones that are better quality than not, it's still not the same. If it's not on DVD, usually it's a transfer of someone recorded off VHS and they produced it to DVD. So it's not the greatest quality, but I can deal with it. So, off topic. So back to Necronomicon. So that was my first con. My friend Monique loved role-playing, so she actually did a lot of the LARPing, live-action role-playing. I think she either played Werewolf or Vampire Masquerade, I don't know. Those were her games, the White Wolf games. Not really tabletop people at the time. I was mostly sticking to the anime rooms and stuff, and I'd go back. The best thing about that con, other than the 24-hour anime rooms, is the fact that, yes... Okay, thank you, Mom. Milk, okay. Thank you, I'll get that on Friday. I'm recording something. Okay, does it go on off sale on Thursday?
No, it begins on Friday, on Thursday.
Okay, then remind me on Friday. Okay, I don't need to see it.
Organic milk.
Okay, just hold on to it. I will remind me on Friday.
Oh, look what they got. I don't get one free.
I'm a 32-year-old woman. My mother lives with us because, I don't feel comfortable with her living on her own. However, we're obviously the boundary issues, so unless I lock the door, there's always going to be someone coming in. So you can tell, I already had the husband and now the mom. I almost said the wife. That would have been really weird. Okay, so back to Necro. Like I said, the main thing was the 24-hour anime rooms, which we were all over because that's how we got introduced to Utena. That's how we got introduced to Marmalade Boy and Child's Toy. Not Child's Play, Child's Toy. all these animes that we would have never known about. And no matter what I think of Necronomicon now, that was really a good experience for me. And also where I first saw Flesh Gordon. If you've seen Flesh Gordon, not Flash, Flesh, like that 1970s kind of cheesy, softcore, cultish movie, it's interesting. So I enjoyed that experience a lot. My friend Monique enjoyed it so much she met a guy there. Hindsight, not the winner of all winners, so we're not gonna get on with that. But you know, you meet people at these cons. Mostly sticking to the anime route. So the next year, I believe it was Monique, Marie, and myself and Monique's friend David Wyman. I think my memory's a little scuzzy on this part. It's kind of iffy. There was one year I didn't get a hotel room, and and they all did, and I would come in and basically shower there or something, and I would crash, hang out, and do straight no sleep for 2 or 3 days. But I don't know which year it is. I don't think it was this year. I think it was the next year. Anyway, same drill. Do the anime and stuff, and had fun. And I think this might have been the first year I hung out at night. Now, might I add, anime during the day, not really role playing, sleep at night. Not a role playing person, so it's not my thing. So I remember Monique was running around and with Marie, and they did the role playing, LARPing, and this is the second year, by the way. I did my anime thing during the day, and she would come back at night, and Marie's like, "Hey, I'm going out. You want to come?" I was sleeping, and I woke up, so it's been like 11 or so. I went around, running around with Marie. And this is where I learned the alternate part of all con experiences. The parties at night are always so much better than anything. I mean, the experience with the celebrities and whatever is fun. But you almost have to have like a 2-hour sleep buffer during like an afternoon, evening time. So you can be ready for the nighttime parties. Now, this is so not the level of what I'm used to now. But still, I was like 18 by this time. Going, running around. It was so easy to get alcohol when you were underage. I don't know if this was the year we went to the Klingon party. There's a group of people who would dress up as Klingons and let people have drinks. But might I add, this may have been. And it was the first, if it was this year or the next year, it was the first year I had something blue to drink. It was awesome. As a result, anytime, now this is red. Anytime something's blue, it almost, I don't know if it's a nostalgia or probably more like I've conditioned myself that I automatically get more drunk off it. It doesn't even matter what it is. Something that's blue will get me more drunk than any other color. And I think it's really, I've conditioned myself. Kind of like my husband has conditioned me to switch this channel when Bon Jovi is on. Same concept. As you can tell, same concept. Basically, for the next couple of years, it was running around, whatever, hanging out, anime during the day, hang out with friends at night. Maybe the fourth year. I don't think it was the third. So, 1, 2, 3, fourth year probably was the first year I actually ever live action role played. So, by then, 17, 18, 19, 20. I might have been about 20-ish. Not quite 21 yet. And was the live action role playing for the first year of my life. I've role played with friends, but I'm not into LARPing. It's not my thing. I've got nothing against it. It's just not my thing. I prefer it over tabletop. If I gotta bust out a thing of cards, I'm lost. Following a story, making shit up as you go, I can do that okay. I got a quirky little thing, so I tend to, if I don't have boundaries, I kind of go overboard. Especially with making crap up as I go. So, this was the first year. Friday night and Saturday night, both role played. Friday, I wanted to be, Mockavian. But, which, if you do Vampire Masquerade, they're kind of crazy vampires. But, came in too late, and they were already packed. So, I basically was a werewolf, pretending to be a vampire. Friday night, I actually played the game and followed it a little more. It was actually very interesting. By the way, third or fourth year, whatever year this was the first year I saw Keith. Now, not so much now, but at the time, you have to remember, people in Tampa area, if you probably did the LARPing, if you did the Necro, if you did the Vampire Masquerade, you were probably you probably went to the one club you would go to, and that was the Castle. Castle, back in the heyday of 10, 15 years ago, was way beyond what it is now. It was like the place to be. And Keith, we all knew, it was more of an iconic status for him. None of us physically knew him like, hey Keith, how you doing? Not like, hey, you're a friend. It was more of, this is Keith. He's the guy who was running the LARPing game, who was, now, how much of this crap was true or not, I don't know. Had his own dungeon and was really into some of the bondage S&M stuff. I don't know how much this is true or not. It's hard to say. We were 1920. A lot of bullshit gets floated around then. So, who knows? But he was like the big thing back then, and he went to the castle and we'd seen him there. And like I said, at this age, if you were in Tampa or Tampa Bay area, even or the outskirts, and you liked something that was not hip-hop or pop, and you wanted to go someplace and hear some kick-ass music, probably dress all in black, to be honest, and drink or dance, even if you can't dance well, you went to the castle. It was the end-all be-all, and the vibe there was kind of like, hey, everyone come, you are welcome. Now, so he was one of those people we saw at the Necro, and he was there. Saturday night, different experience. I did roleplay, but roleplay was less about roleplaying and more hanging around people. I got to be in Mock Haven that night. It was more hanging around people getting ready to get drunk. Why this is, and I was definitely 20, why this was a memory? It's because I actually hooked up with someone. I blame this all on Marie. Now, Marie and I may not be friends any longer, but she definitely was a great person to hang out with. It was always fun, and no matter what I say or wouldn't say about our friendship friendship throughout the years, Marie is a great person to hang out with. You will always have a fun time, always have a story, and there's no way you can't have fun, because she would always be the life of the party. And even being beside her, you were always going to have something unexpected. So, as that said, she had, at some point, role-playing kind of got lost in the wayside. And she was finding people to hang out with left and right. And one of the people she wanted to hang out with knew other people and stuff. And we would all go out and we found more alcohol. The thing with Necro, at least back then, was very much known for having a lot of older people. So 40s. There'd be a couple different things. There'd be like 5 girls or less that were about our age. So teeny 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Some women that were there with their boyfriends or husbands. A couple of them. And then most of the guys there were the wives or girlfriends that were around the late 20s, 30s. 40-year-old men who did not have anyone, that were single as the day is long. And then underage guys. So it was slim pickings, but you drink enough, you run around and do whatever. And I hooked up with somebody who I cannot even remember the kid's real name. It went by Tank. God, if there was ever a bad remembrance, all I gotta say is, for some reason he told me he didn't tell me his age. I was 20. Turns out later he was 16. Yes. Luckily, nothing more happened than I should have known by the way he kissed. Shoved his tongue down my throat. I nearly gagged. And he bruised my neck by hickeys. It looked like OJ strangled my ass. It was traumatizing. It's an embarrassing low point in my life. We move on. Okay. What else? Oh, yeah, this was the first of many years where Marie would start running around naked around the pool. First time I've seen everyone have sex in the pool too. Not Marie, someone else. I'm gonna skip on through, but basically the next couple years when I would go to this con, here's a trend. Marie would be naked. That also might add, Monique was going to college a little more, so we didn't really hang out as much with her. So she'd do her college thing, hang out with her college friends. So it was mostly me and Marie. Excuse me, Marie and myself. So it was the run around, do something, watch some anime during the day, party at night. And party at night was mostly drink, hang out with whatever guys that were decent, that were the closest to our age bracket. Yeah, there was a couple of times I picked up, I swear I picked up, for a period of time, picking up guys at the con. Not like substantial, but I was picking up guys at the con. So, at some point though, the con really wasn't the thing anymore. I was growing out of anime. I think Marie was still liked it a little, but she wasn't really into it. And we were going to the castle more. So, why would we go to the con when we could just go to the castle and hang out, meet people, drink, whatever? It really had lost its point. We weren't really into it, so con went downhill. So, for the longest period of time, I did not go to another con for another decade or so. Maybe a decade's slight exaggeration, but it was many years. I met my husband, and I think it was actually not quite the first year we met, but a couple of years later, he was at the castle and he found these flyers, and it was for Spooky Empire. So no matter what about Spooky Empire, I will always love it because it's the first con I went to with my husband. My husband's not really, he likes horror movies, but to be honest, I'm way far superior in knowledge of horror movies. Monique, even as a friend, would say I was the better horror movie person. That's always been my thing. During this year time period where I stopped going to cons and stuff, horror movies really took a lower point for me, and though I watched some, I still wasn't really enjoying them as much, the newer ones, because the newer ones were crap, the older ones were good. So, but Spooky Empire was the first con we went to, and I was shocked. Dave's like, let's just do this. We got a room at the Wyndham, that was the host hotel, and oh my lord, this is the con that brought me back to con lifestyle. It was a whole other feel. Whereas Necro really didn't have anyone, and the panels weren't anything, mostly we just watched the movie rooms, this was not that. There were plenty of panels, celebrity panels, fan panels. The dealer room was like twice the size, maybe even 3 times of what Necro was. There was something there for everyone, and I can't even, we brought Kyle, I think, that first year, and it was just a whole other feel. It was like, this was what a con really should be like. I enjoyed it so much that we've gone to every Spooky Empire Screamfest since. One year we were kind of low on budget, so we could only go one day. But Spooky Empire, no matter what, it brought me back to con lifestyle. It actually made me reinvigorate my love of horror movies. We got to meet a lot of great people. David's more social than I am, so he's more outgoing, but met so many great friends through this con. Everything about, no matter what, there might be another con I made like overall better, but Spooky Empire is like home. It's based in Orlando. Might I ask, you should always go to it. There's never a time I haven't had a great time at Spooky Empire's Screamfest, and then this first year was mayhem. It was amazing all the way around. I'm just going to go through a quick, of all the year's Spooky Empire highlights. Spooky Empire, year 1 was the year I guess I went crazy on autographs. I wanted autographs from everyone and stuff, and met and got pictures with everyone. It was the first year we brought Kyle. Kyle's now our traditional Spooky Empire crash pad person. As long as he doesn't hit me on like 1 times a month, I can actually tolerate Kyle pretty cool. He's not a bad person. I'm an irritable person. I think that's what it is more than anything. So, highlights of Spooky Empire throughout the years. I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll start with Brooke McCarter's awesome. He's always there. He was one of the guys in Lost Boys. I guess the best way to describe him, if I'm going by just mainstream, what most people know, Lost Boys is what you know, probably know him as. Of the 4 vampires, if we're not counting Max, Gilmore Girls' grandpa, there's Kiefer Sutherland, Alex Winter, or Bill and Ted, Marco in the movie, Billy Worth, the brunette, and then there's the 4th blonde guy. 4th blonde guy, who I'm so bad, I can't even remember his character's name, but you know, you see all 4 of them together. That is Brooke McCarter. Brooke McCarter is, I didn't know until just even this year, he's based out of Florida. He goes to Spooky Empire all the time. In fact, at Mayhem, he was not a guest, he was a fan, and he just went and enjoyed it. He actually just did Splatter Theater, which was awesome, at Silver Meteor Gallery. They've got an extended show, so if you can, go down to it. It's flipping a parody last short film. Very awesome overall. I'd recommend it highly, like up to here. That's how cool it was. It was fun. Out of Ybor, cool. Okay, so Brooke McCarter's always awesome. I know this is cheesy, but I like Friday the 13th Part 3. And the first year I think we went, it was like a reunion, Friday the 13th Part 3. Dave got met the guy who did the composer, Harry Manfredi. I got to like meet a bunch of people there, but the one I cared about most was the character of Shelly. One, as a general rule, a character in any movie named Shelly, it's going to be a weirdo or a geek. And the only time it hasn't ever been those two things is in The Crow, and the girl died. So, you know, Shelly's not, whatever. But I was a horror movie fan, and Shelly in Friday the 13th Part 3, the character, is a horror movie fan. So to meet the actor who played him was pretty cool. There's other people there, and they were all cool, but it was really a great experience. Sorry, just moved a little. Getting a little. So that was that. See other great experience. We went VIP one year, and I don't know if I do VIP again. It's good if there's a really good thing. I liked the year we went, and I'm glad we did VIP. But I think I might want to plan it out a little bit better when I do it. It almost seemed like it cut so much, and I think if I was only doing one con a year, VIP would be great every year. However, we on average, on the low end, we do 3 cons a year. On the high end, this year's going to be like a big con year. We've already done Spooky Empire Mayhem. Just came back from Supernatural in Nashville. Going next month, and those were 2 weekends. Back-to-back weekend. Before next month, we're going to do one day at Metro. That's in Tampa, so it's not too bad. Next month, I'm going to New Jersey for Supernatural there. Dragon Con and Labor Day, and then Spooky Empire Scream Fest in October. So, it may not seem, but that's con season's always starts usually in June. This year it started in May, and goes for me basically till Spooky Empire in October. And really, including, we always have a Halloween party in October. Always, it's our second. We always do a lot of stuff in October, so it's a big, like, bam, 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 bam. So it's a lot to put. So if I only had one con to do a year, maybe VIP for Spooky Empire would be what I do every year. But I have 4 or 5 cons. We're hosting house parties, for which we supply alcohol generously and food. And people do bring their own, but still, there's a lot you have to do. So, yeah, we can't always do VIP. But back to the point, Spooky Empire, we did VIP one year. I'm so glad I did it that year, though. Malcolm McDowell was there. I got to meet Malcolm McDowell. I got to actually talk to him. And I mean, yeah, I could have gotten the autograph bullshit and the pictures, but actually at the VIP part, he was there. He let me go and talk to him. I actually asked him about Caligula. He mentioned he didn't like the experience. And I understand why now. He literally was like, it could have been so great. But, as many things, who holds the money can hold how something runs. Movies, music, anything. And it was a very truthful answer. The other person I met was Ken Foray. he was cool. Um, Angus Scrim, which, if you know, man, that man is very sweet, nice old man. But I'm glad I met him when I did, because I'm so worried he's going to pass away any year now. Those were the main, and Brooke McCarter. Every year, Brooke McCarter, I get to talk to him. The cool thing about this, it was a nice vibe. It was good to be able to not have to wait. VIP is, if you're not doing a lot of cons and you're cool and money's not really a big issue, I would probably recommend that. What else? Oh, other spooky Empire highlights. Oh my lord, there's so many. Car, da 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 da. Angus Graham. Michael Berryman. The first year I went, I met Michael Berryman. Now, he is so different from what he would seem like. He is very personable. He's very much like way into the world. You'd think he looks like a scary and he'd be all like, ugh. But he is very thoughtful, very like a cool person. Not like crazy or whatever. And it's nice to get that vibe. I also met the woman who played Jason Voorhees' mother in the first movie. And it's a very nice person. Oh, back to I think it was the first year we met Kane Hodder. And we got a picture with David having Kane Hodder put the machete to his neck. We bought an autographed machete from him. But the first year was also the year we met Griffin. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because him and his person, there's some personal history. I'm not going to go on that because this is on YouTube. Who cares about that crap? But I met him and his daughter. And that was the first time. It started at that con. It went to DragCon. My husband can track down people at the castle outside Tampa area. Like, he's got a radar. And that was the first person. There were some people up in DragonCon, so Atlanta. Never met. Recent Spooky Empire. We went to, I guess I can go through whatever, but I'll just go with the last one. Mayhem was awesome. So, I got a picture of Bruce Campbell. I've met Bruce Campbell before, so this wasn't a big shock, but I wanted a more recent one. The last one I had was 10 years ago or something, during his first birth tour. Mike and Kelly went this time. They were awesome, and they actually talked to Anthony Michael Hall. And I was drunk, but I stumbled over and started talking to Kelly while she was talking to Anthony Michael Hall. Poor man listened to my drunk ramble, and my dad, I will always want to meet him now because he is very laid back and cool. I like when people are very cool and laid back. He was at the pool party. That's where I met him, so I didn't have to worry about money or bullshit like that. By the way, Spooky Empire pool parties rock. VIP, okay, if you pay for it, you get that little pool party, which is fine. It's not bad. But, man, just go to the Gatorville pool party. It's always so much better. Now, there might be a buffer time where it's not as, it's as many, like, clubs. Gotta let things work out. Bring my drink, head on down there. It's awesome. By the way, if you're going to eat anything in Gatorville, get the nachos. We get it without meat, but if you're a meat eater, get it with meat. It's always good. It's filling. Sucks out some of the alcohol if you wanted to do that. It's just a good vibe all around. People are very low-key. Oh, also at the Gatorville pool party 2 years ago. Well, not 2 years. Last October. Where I met Krista and her mom. Krista, so funny. So, it was after, the VIP party happens earlier, and then Brooke McCarter made his way to the Gatorville one. So, there's 2 pools at Wyndham. So, he made his way from that to the other one. He was playing with Gerard, I cannot remember his name, singing Cry Little Sister. He was doing the drums. It was very cool. And I got bumped into by the hottest guy, Billy Worth, and he touched my hand. I know it's so cheesy to say, oh, you touched my hand. Well, I'm like drunk and happy and listening to music, and some guy bumps into me and apologized, touched my hand, and I realized, oh my god, it was Billy Worth. I did not do the fan thing and gush over it. I was pretty drunk, so I probably couldn't even if I wanted to. But while we're here, I'm having my hair falls, and my friend, who was not my friend at the time, Krista's beautiful. If you've ever seen Krista, she is really beautiful. Her family's got some good genes in them. So she comes to us like, hey, I've seen you before. Now I'm a little weirded out. Mostly because, 1, I'm drunk, and 2, I'm not a social person. It's not like I go out there. David's the social one. I'm the antisocial one. When I drink, I'm definitely more social. She actually knows her friend Teresa and seen us on our Facebook, and as a result, we always see Krista in this year, and then in Mayhem we saw Krista and her mom and her sister, and it was just a good vibe all the way around. So overall, short part of the story: Spooky Empire rocks. You should always go to it. If you have one con a year, I would buy the VIP. If you don't, just get the regular tickets, and you can really do good all the way around. The only thing with regular tickets versus VIP, you don't get, you have to wait in line for the panels and autographs. But if you're cool with that, go for it. Okay. So, that's Spooky Empire. We've talked about whatever. MetroCon, I've only gone a handful of times. MetroCon's not bad. It's actually pretty good. If you're into anime, this is what you want to go to. It's huge in Tampa. It's at the Tampa Convention Center every year. June, July time. I think they've changed it up depending on what year. MetroCon's awesome as long as you like anime. If you are not into anime, don't bother going. It's not your thing. This year, I will be going, even though I've kind of toned off the anime. Gonna go for the vibe, and for the more important thing is Max Brooks is gonna be there. So I'm like all over that crap. Also, Terrence, screw up this man's name, is a Dingshit something guy who did Repo, who like wrote it, who was the grave robber. He's gonna be there. So even though I've met him before, it's cool to meet him again. Max Brooks, I mean, he wrote the zombie survival guide. Come on, how could I not go and meet him? Things to note about MetroCon, though. For now, I'm an older person, and when I say older, I'm over the age of 18, 19, 20. So this is where I'm coming from. I'm 32. Even when I first went, I was late 20s. Here's the thing. MetroCon has a lot of young people. And it's not bad, it's just when you're into anime, it tends to more attract like teenagers and early 20-year-olds and more teenagers. So, things to notate. 1, don't buy food or drink at the convention center. It's overcharged. If you don't mind getting off your lazy ass, and trust me, I'm not a skinny person, but my fat ass can walk to a bar or a restaurant or something so I could get. If you walk 5 minutes, north from the convention, there's a bar that's open every day but Sunday. If you trek down maybe and walk 10 minutes, east and a little north, and then turn north, so not very much east, just a little east and then north mostly, there'll be like flipping a Quiznos, a West Shore Pizza, a bagel shop, like 4 or 5 places, and a CVS. Get food and drink there. It's cheaper and it'll be well worth it. As is, you're paying $5 for parking. There's some dry periods, so they are trying to bring in a little more stuff other than just anime. Anime's still the big end all be all. So some of the panels, it's cool. So I'm trying it out again this year. It's one since I'm not the biggest anime person, it's not the greatest experience for me, but it's pretty fun. I usually just do a one day, or I've done a weekend when I worked registration to get it free. But as a whole, it's not a bad experience. If you like anime, I'd say 100%. Not so much. Maybe try out one day and feel it out. As general, Saturdays are always a day to try out at any con if you're not sure. What else? They usually have fire performers there at night. They have like nighttime raves. For the most part, it's around like the $50 point for for an all weekend pass. They'll have not a rave. The rave's not extra. They'll have a masquerade, and that'll be $10 extra. But for the most part, you're getting your money's worth. I said, oh my goodness, sorry. If you don't, the one thing that weirded me out the first year, 15, 14, 16, whatever year olds asking for saying free hugs and wanting to hug you. I feel extremely uncomfortable for 2 reasons. One, I know my parents love me, but they were not huggy people. They were kiss on forehead people, so we were not a hug family. So I don't like hugging a lot. In fact, I didn't even want to hug my sister at her wedding. As everyone knows who's seen that video, when I put the mic by and said we don't hug. I hug David because we're married, but for the most part, For me, hugging is more if I haven't seen you in a while, and then maybe I'll feel obliged to hug. I don't like hugging. I feel very uncomfortable. Even sometimes when celebrities, I don't mind putting an arm behind, but like a hug, feel really awkward and not my thing. I should have gone and said, "Can I get a hug to someone at Supernatural?" Because the actors were doing it left and right. I feel really uncomfortable doing that. So, being around a bunch of teenagers wanting hugs, who some of them go up to my chest, I just feel icky. Other than that, it's fun. $5 usually to park downtown. As long as you like anime, I'd say go for it. If you don't like anime, try it for a day. See how it vibes. It does have some slow periods, so I'd look online to see the schedule, kind of see where you might want to go. I've never been to the rave because I never stay that late. Because I usually get there early and I'm tired and I'm old. Okay, so that's MetroCon. I'll do some brief ones that I've also done one dayers at. MegaCon. I know people love MegaCon. It's in Orlando. I've gone there once. And it wasn't really that. I don't like the vibe. Maybe if the vibe's really messed up. I don't like the layout they do things. It's a convention hall, and it's not the whole convention hall. It's one section of it because Orlando has a bigger one than Tampa, obviously. Seems like one big ass room, and they've got celebrities on one end. The what is it called? The dealer in one another, but it's all one room, and it's really jam packed, and it gets hot. And when you're getting near the celebrities, it's like traffic congestion. It sucks. I don't see this good thing of it. I would much rather go to just Dragon Con and see everyone I wanted. Because I'm more into horror than anything, the sci-fi people they have are not people I usually tend to go to. Gareth David Lloyd was there, so I was glad to meet him. Get a picture, but for the most part, it's not my thing. I know some people swear up and down by it, so if you like that, that's good for you. I would mostly recommend if you were going to try this out, try it out one day first. First year, try it out one day. See if it's the type of thing you want to do. Because it may not be the vibe you want. Because it definitely wasn't for me. What else? So did that. So we talked about Necro because that's first. MetroCon. Spooky Empire. Okay, so I'm going to start with Dragon Con because I enjoy that. And then I'm going to talk about what is the difference between all those other cons and the Creation Con. Because though I had fun at Creation, I got a really bad vibe off of certain things. And it's the money aspect. But I'll get back to that. So, Dragon Con. So, we went to Spooky Empire once a year. And then we kept hearing about Dragon Con. And that next year we were like, let's go to Dragon Con. I hear about it. I think Marie, when we were still friends, was saying she was going to go. She said, oh, I got a hotel room planned. David and I were talking. We were like, let's go to Dragon Con. I was like, David, I have a bad feeling. I've known Okay, I'm not trying to dig dirt on people and stuff. But I've known Marie for very many years. And she had flaky qualities. I was like, David, let's get a room at some local hotel just as a backup. And if she comes through, we'll cancel. Well, I was shocked she didn't come through. So we were going there. It was not one of the host hotels. But might I add, Dragon Con blew. Whereas I love Spooky Empire, Dragon Con is like shock and awe. I've never been to San Diego Comic Con, so I've never been there. I can't compare it. From what I understand, Dragon Con is more. It's fan-based, weirdo, geeky, get your geek on. Whereas San Diego Comic Con is very much, though it has those things, it is very much influenced by. It's so close to It's in California, the Hollywood vibe. You get a lot of things out there. Dragon Con's like a whole different creature. I'm not going to go a lot because I could go on forever. But Dragon Con, there is a billion things to do. There is never a time I didn't want to do something. There was only times I needed to eat and sleep and had to miss stuff. What's worse is at nighttime, that was when I would have major dilemmas. There'd be 4 or 5 different things at midnight. Oh, I could go see the Cruise Shadows. Or I could go and see it would be different things. Maybe it wasn't always Cruise Shadows, but there'd be a band I want to hear. That'd be there. And they've had Cruise Shadows, Mindless Self-Indulgence, other bands people have actually heard of. Now, there'd be other ones, but still. There'd be... Oh, no, I want to do the Rocky Horror thing. We'd have the Rocky Horror live cast, and then they'd have someone like Barry Boswick working along with it. Awesome. Burlesque show. All around the same time. WN Hentai. Awesome. All these things would go on at the same time. This is where I have the dilemma of not knowing what the hell I want to do. Lloyd Kaufman's always there. If you've ever met Lloyd Kaufman, Trauma, he's awesome. He may play off this, to play off this role he plays, but he really is an intelligent man. He's very pro independent cinema, independent film. He wants people to have the choice. No matter what you think of Trauma movies, good, bad, different, he's really out there to try and promote, do your own thing and get it out there. Crap, not crap, whatever. Do your own thing. Do it outside the system and make it out there. He's very he does things in an intellectual way, but brings humor in it. So people look at him and think, oh, he's a big joke. But really listen to him. You will hear so much. At Dragon Con every year. He's very friendly and very cool. Who else? There's just so many people. Dragon Con usually boasts about 400 actors, musicians, comic book artists, authors. And these aren't like nobodies you've never heard of. There's always somebody there. Dealer room's huge. There's always something going on there. There's the parade, which is awesome. What else? There's just so much with Dragon Con. Dragon Con's like the end-all, be-all. It's just amazing. I can't even say it more than that. Dragon Con is the end-all, be-all for me. It's huge. It's got everything going for it. I can hit every little thing. I can learn something about filmmaking. I can learn things about computers. I can spend all day in a panel all about British sci-fi. I can go see celebrity stuff. Might add, Dragon Con will always hold a place in my heart because it's where I first met Big Honkin' Steve Glosson, and Derek Russell. Derek, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. You probably never see this anyway. These are and Graham, which, I'm sorry, Graham, I forgot your name. Not that you'd see this anyway. I started hearing podcasts when I was in Heroes. And these three guys did like the Heroes podcast I listened to, the Sarah Connor, the Chronicles podcast. I started listening to Smallville podcast because of that. Geek Out Loud I started listening to because of that. And then this whole family of stuff. It was just, Dragon Con has everything. I don't know how else to say it. I'm sure San Diego has a lot of stuff, but from a geek point of view for me, and I've never been to San Diego, so I may change my mind down the road if I ever go to it. But it's very much a geek, whereas the geek fan goofness. I've always had fun. Only things to note, you cannot buy alcohol from the liquor store on Sunday. You can buy it at a restaurant or a bar after 12:30. Do this. Just bring your own alcohol or buy it Saturday night. There's like 2 liquor stores really close vicinity. We're bringing up our stuff. Marriott's the party hotel. We have not, this will be our first year staying there, but it'll be cool. Horror movie actors do not have that long of a line in the autograph thing. Mostly because a lot of people go in there with sci-fi, fantasy. Those lines are long, whereas someone like Robert Englund is not so much. So, I will be the person, one of the 5 people in the Robert Englund line. And this year, Misha Collins and Jim Beaver are going to be there. So, poor Misha Collins and Jim Beaver are going to have to worry that my crazy ass is going to follow them. I'll probably be drinking. It's not going to be a good sign all the way around. Okay. Dragon Con's awesome. It's a Labor Day weekend every year. If you're going to ever get rooms, you're too late anyway now. There are 5 host hotels now. There used to be 4. There'll be like 4 or 5 overflows. Book your room. Like, as soon as the last one ends, book it within as soon as possible. Try it then. If they say it's going to be 2 weeks later, try it then. David forgot to call, and he just dumb luck got into the Marriott. I don't know even how he did it. Note, I will say we've stayed at the Hyatt, and the problem with the Hyatt, or not the Hyatt, excuse me. Yeah, it was the Hyatt. Yeah, there's not that many elevators, and it takes forever to run. So if you're past like a certain floor, you will be waiting for a while unless you want to learn to take the steps. And something about the, I don't know about the other hotels, but the volume goes up and down very well. Okay, so now to creation. Now, I'm going to 2 creation, so I'll tell you if there's a different vibe at both of them. I just came back from the one in Nashville, which was at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. My ad, hotel-wise, it's a fucking beautiful hotel. We stayed at the Bellagio, and I've loved the Bellagio. Room-wise, I would say Gaylord. Bathroom's better at the Bellagio than the Gaylord, obviously. Your own individual bathroom because you have a separate bath and shower and stuff. I think the room, it's a little nicer, the actual bedroom area, the Gaylord. But they're still both nice. You have a refrigerator, and the Gaylord, but it's in the weirdest place. It's underneath, like in the TV thing, underneath it. Okay, here's the bad part. Here's the good part of the Gaylord also. Whereas I love the Bellagio, but the bottom floor is all casino. So it's not like they could do a lot of stuff in there like they could at Gaylord, where they got a conservatory and like 7 restaurants and a riverboat and all that. So things to know about Gaylord I didn't like. I didn't like their coffee shop because waited in a 10-minute line just for them to tell me the blended drink, the Frappuccino equivalent they didn't have. They just put a sign up. The door for a room, it always got caught on the deadbolt, but otherwise it was fine. You're getting charged a $15 resort fee at Gaylord, which includes like access to the fitness center, free wireless, this and that, 2 bottles of Dasani water a day. Guess what? You're getting charged it either way. Flipping use all that things. I didn't drink my Dasani water every day, but I hit those bottles so they'd refill. It's not the point, it's the principle. Just go for it. So the hotel was great. Okay, so let's go with the convention. I did not buy the $500 gold ticket, which would include some autographs, access to this one, whatever, beep, beep, beep. Bullshit. About general admission. Not even preferred general admission. Just general admission. Because you know what? Like I said, this is like I'm having 4 or 5 cons this year. I'm not losing money left and right. So, good things about creation. I'll start with the good. You are guaranteed seats no matter what. The room, they let you take still pictures, which is cool. And I think more for the more toward the celebrities and the fans. Celebrities are very open and friendly with you. Let's see what else. I'm trying to get to the good before the bad. I'm not trying to slam it left and right. They do have a good quality of guests. You're not getting like no names exclusively. At least at the Supernatural one. I can't say for any of the other conventions. They do like a Twilight Con, Supernatural, a True Blood, a Star Trek. They do the Fangoria Weekend of Horrors. Okay. It's in a nice hotel, which is cool. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to start on to the bad. I can intercut the good with bad. So I got general admission. General admission has so little you get with it. So I get that, I obviously agree that, wow, that is Senator Wiener. It's his chin and his nose. Okay, sorry, I'm watching Ed Schultz and they were showing parts of the Wiener gate. I guess gate, you add gate onto anything. Oh, he's not senator, he's a representative. How am I going with this? Okay, back to the initial point. Okay, so one, I get there. VIP, okay, it's not VIP. They have gold, silver, preferred, and everybody else. And everybody else would be weekend or single days. So, gold means you pay like $500 for your ticket. What you get is an assigned seat during this process. You get a bunch of free, you get your autographs, which you should get. I was paying that much, yeah. And you get one of these special things that are just for VIPs, like a party or dinner or cocktail party, whatever. Might add, you still fucking pay for alcohol. Wow, low cursing. So that's what gold is. Silver, I think, you don't get the party, you get some autographs. And preferred just means you get this assigned seat. You get assigned seats if you get any of the preferred silver or gold. So general means you don't get a assigned seat, but you are guaranteed a seat in the hall. A seat where you can see very well, but if depending on your camera, you may have to zoom in a hell of a lot to get good pictures. Other thing, you're not allowed to take any camcorder video. It pisses the fuck out of me. You're only supposed to do still camera. I'm gonna base that shit anyway, but I can't sneak in my flip camera because it's really obvious. Other thing. Okay, so let's see about the events they have. They have the regular basic panels. Okay, you get, no matter what you get that. Might I add, there's maybe like 2 or 3 a day. The karaoke, that's free. You don't even have to be in the con to go to that one. It's free karaoke, but it's not in a bar. So, but they have bars set out, drinks set out outside. Okay, here's the next part. Meet and greets. Those are separate from your ticket, even if you got gold. That I think is separate. So there's another, what, $100 for that crap. Then there's a cocktail party. There's another $100 for that. The jam session with Jensen Ackles and a singer. I'm sorry. No offense to Jensen Ackles, but he is not the end-all be-all of performers. So I would nowhere spend $455 on that crap. Are you fucking kidding me? If you didn't get silver or gold, you buy your autographs. Kid you not. There was an $80 autograph. An autograph. Pen on a paper with a signature. $80. I'm sorry, that's bullshit. Photographs. If you wanted Jared and Jensen in a professional photo, one professional photo of yourself, it's like $200. Really? I get they're bigger performers and they need a little cut, but $200? I don't think they get that much of a cut. Seriously. I think it's more. And then, so really, to get, and plus, another thing that irks me is that the performers tend to be there only one day of the con. Now, Richard Speight Jr. was there Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. But he's the only one. Everyone else was one-dayers. So it's like you get one panel with them. If you did the meet and greet, you get that, which that's money. Photo, you get that. See the trend I'm going now? It's more money on top, more money, more money. It's not just your ticket and you get all. What else? I'm sorry, I got a really broke ass vibe off of this. They have they did have good celebrities there. I'm glad who I got. It was nice variety at Nashville, and it was really good. And what they had a director there, which was one of the directors of some of the episodes. He was very low key and cool. Most people would ask stuff. You got the actors: Jared, Jensen, Misha, Richard, Chad, Brock, Matt. Corn Nemec was there. I did not see him, but I'll see him in New Jersey. I mean, come on, Parker Lewis. How can you not? What else? I don't know. It just was a lot of... No. Here's the other thing that irked me. They have an auction. An auction, so you buy autographed pictures from their other cons of people, or banners, and with autographs and this and that. The crap they were... It was just atrocious. And all I could think was, wow, people, how much money do you have? If I told my husband, hey, I bought a $560 poster of the banner of the Impala that goes the length of one of our bedroom walls, maybe even a bigger one, of our master bedroom, he would look at me like I fucking lost my mind. And I think I would too. it's just, I get it. Some people have more money than others, but some things, and there's like a backstage pass in addition that you could have paid extra for. How much money in the world? Okay. I'm not gonna go on. My main gist is creation very much runs like a business. Very much so. Because they're doing add-on onto add-on, where you're paying more for that. They're just, it really feels like they're doing this to get money out of fans versus enjoying the experience. Now, I'm not saying the others, I know for a fact, Spooky Empire PD, yes, they had the VIP thing, but that's one section, and I get that. But it's really a fan base. He's a fan, and he's getting stuff for fans. He has it so that if you're doing the VIP, yes, you get a little extra, and you should, because you're paying more. But if you're getting general, you're not getting like 3 panels a day and that's it. You're definitely getting experience. That's spooky. Awesome. DragonCon, there's so much to do, and they don't have different levels. They literally have, Eternal, where you pay a flat membership forever, and that's, you don't ever buy the ticket again, or regular. And I'm cool with that. That is actually pretty cool overall. Both places have autographs and picture amounts, but they are nowhere near as high in the amount. I mean, literally, if you had wanted William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, I think it was like $160 for a dual photo, and I get that. I could probably even understand the $200 photo of Jared and Jensen together, but still, the autographs are atrocious. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to another one. Maybe I'll get a different vibe, but I don't like how Creation is pulling this off. It's really just feels very much for the money. Very much for the money. And I don't know what else to say about that. I'm going to go to New Jersey because it's with Monique. We don't have to get a room. And, other than that, if I go to the other one that's in Nashville again next year, it would strictly be because the hotel's cheap. We get to see our friends. More to see our friends than anything. And then we can do maybe a couple panels. But I would never spend the $500 for... Even if I only had one con a year, I would never spend the $500. It's just too atrocious. So, notes. Okay, so... Oh my lord, I've spent an hour talking. I'm so sorry, people. You heard my drunk ramblings. Except they're not even drunk. This Blast by Colt 45. Not even 3 down. No buzzed. In fact, I'm a little thirsty now. So I'm going to finish it up and drink actual water or soda or something. Tasty, but there's no drunk on. I don't know, maybe it's my weight, but I've gotten drunk off of a Four Loko can. Yeah, maybe not drunk. I've gotten a buzzed off a Four Loko can. This big. Now, too, maybe it's because there were 7-ounce things. Maybe I have to drink the whole 6-pack to get a buzz. But why would I want to do that? It tastes good, so maybe I'll drink one more, see if I get a buzz. I'm thinking if these are regular bottle sizes, which are 10 ounces, I think usually 10 to 11 is a normal bottle size. Probably drinking 3 would probably been okay. So 37. Oh my lord, I would have to literally drink almost 5 of these to probably get a decent buzz. Don't know if it's worth it. Sorry, Snoop Dogg, I think you approved the wrong item. Well, whatever. So, thank you for spending time listening to this rant. I'm sorry in advance. I have to go to work tomorrow. I've been off for like a week. I would have loved to have been off another day, but gotta pay bills. I still have plenty more cons. David wants to go to Andrew Dice Clay. Now, don't even get me started about how much that bastard's trying to charge. He ain't in his heyday anymore. Anyways, thank you for listening. Or the drunk... Not even drunk ramblings. Just my regular ramblings. I'm gonna bring my camcorder to Monique's Black Light Pool Party. So we'll see how that goes off. Okay, well, talk to you later. Thanks.